Today it's beautiful, peaceful ocean and city views mixed with some heavy-hitting naval war history. So let's find out how the Second World War came to Newcastle at Fort Scratchley. Fort Scratchley sits atop Flagstaff Hill, a prominent headland at the entrance to the Hunter River, overlooking Nobby's Beach and the Newcastle Harbour. Its commanding views made it a natural military lookout. This site allowed defenders to monitor and protect shipping routes, especially important for Newcastle's coal exports, a major part of the colonial and wartime economy. It was here in 1801 when the first official coal mining in Australia began, when convicts, under government orders, hand-dug the early mine shafts. John Platt and other convicts established a working mine that fed Newcastle's shipping trade and fueled the growth of Sydney. Early sketches by colonial artists show rudimentary mining equipment and convict labour near Flagstaff Hill. The mine eventually closed due to inefficiency and safety issues, but it laid the foundation for Newcastle's coal legacy. By the 1870s, alarms were being raised in British colonies about perceived Russian threats, so Australia began preparing for possible naval attacks. Between 1876 and 1882, the Colonial Architect's Office, under advice from Lieutenant Colonel Peter Scratchley, began military planning in the area. Between 1882 and 86, the fort is built using local sandstone, brick and concrete, with earthworks and reinforcement. 6 gun emplacements were built into thick earthen walls. The British-made 6-inch and 8-inch Armstrong guns were mounted on hydraulic carriages that allowed them to pop up to fire and then retract down to reload, keeping the crew safe. They constructed underground chambers for safely storing black powder and shells, some of which is still accessible today. The barracks and signal station housed troops, officers and communications equipment. During pre-World War I activity, Fort Scratchley was used as a training base and deterrent against any enemy warships approaching the industrial port of Newcastle. It was manned by New South Wales Artillery and later the Australian Garrison Artillery. It was modernised with electric lighting, range finders and more accurate sighting equipment. In the lead up to World War II, the fort was upgraded with Bofors anti-aircraft guns and searchlights. It was on the 8th of June 1942 Newcastle was shelled during the night. Japanese submarines operating off the New South Wales coast shelled Newcastle with 25 to 30 shells, targeting the steelworks and port facilities. Their target is believed to have been the BHP site and Walsh Island dockyards, which at the time was part of Australia's war manufacturing effort. However, most shells landed without damage, some hitting open ground, one striking a tram terminus, one damaging the BHP steelworks, as well as Parnell Place where one shell exploded on the road, shattering windows and showering nearby terrace houses with shrapnel. And another shell landed near the seawall north of the ocean baths. Fort Scratchley responded with 4 rounds from its 6-inch guns. It is the only Australian fort ever to fire in combat against an enemy naval vessel. Despite no confirmed hits, it symbolised Australia's coastal defence readiness. As World War II ended and military technology advanced, fixed-gun forts like Scratchley became obsolete. Coastal defence shifted towards mobile units, aircraft and submarine. Decommissioning began in 1962. The Australian Army finally left the demilitarised site, and in 1972 the guns were removed or recovered. Between the 1970s and 1990s, the fort was threatened with demolition. However, locals campaigned for its preservation. The Fort Scratchley Historical Society was formed in 1982. Initially as the Fort Scratchley Local Committee to preserve the site's military history and artefacts. Between 2004-2008, there was major restoration undertaken by Newcastle City Council. The tunnels were reopened and the museum established. Daily canon tradition was resumed. In 2008, Fort Scratchley reopened to the public on the 8th of June, exactly 66 years after its famous World War II defence. Currently, Fort Scratchley is open to the public. Visitors can explore museum exhibits, military artefacts, uniforms, and historical photos. There are guided tunnel tours that delve into the fort's underground ammunition stores and secret passages. The time gun is fired daily at 1 p.m, reviving a maritime tradition dating from the 19th century. The parade ground is used for events, military ceremonies, and Anzac Day commemorations. The fort offers excellent 360-degree views over the city, including the CBD, Newcastle Beach, Nobby's Head, the Breakwater, and the harbour. Whale watching, ship spotting, and storm watching are all popular activities from its hilltop vantage point. Fort Scratchley stands as a symbol of Australia's colonial, industrial, and military heritage. Today it serves as a living history site, educating the public and preserving the stories of those who served. Also, a huge thank you to those that have liked and subscribed. Any thoughts you can share in the comments below, and I'll catch you on the next one.